Okay, hello. So, my neighbors are doing construction on their driveway, and that is one of the most annoying sounds in the world to me. So today's practice is going to be all about allowing. Like allowing my dog to move so I can straighten my up. Come here, baby. It's probably like payback for all the times that I used to party and keep my neighbors awake for hours with annoying sounds. So, as with any time you do yoga, you want to make sure that you listen to your body and don't do anything that hurts or feels really uncomfortable. And I'm like recovering from a sickness right now, so I'm gonna do kind of a respiratory illness. I'm gonna do a lot of chest openers. So if you've had any kind of like respiratory issues, it might feel really nice to open your chest up. But yeah, listen to your body. And we're gonna get started in child's pose. So I'm gonna take my socks off here. I think it's nice to do yoga with bare feet. If you have a strap, we might incorporate that later on, or if you have like anything strappy, like a dog leash or something. I also have blocks. Blocks are a really nice investment, so if you don't have blocks and you can get them, I would recommend it. But you can also use stacked up books. And a yoga mat is super nice to have too, but you can do yoga anywhere. You can just do it on the floor. I'm doing it in my pajamas, so you don't need fancy yoga clothes to do yoga. So for child's pose, let's take a wide-legged child's pose. So your knees can be about as wide as the mat, big toes can be touching. And then we're just gonna walk our hands out in front of us and bring your chest and your forehead toward the mat. You can use a bolster here if you have one. I don't have one. And we're just gonna stay here for a minute and breathe. We're gonna breathe in through the nose and then out through the nose. And see if you can elongate your exhales to make them a little bit longer than your inhales. If Ujjayi breathing is part of your practice, you can start doing that now. Well, it's just where you make a sound in the back of your throat. So it's kind of like a restriction in the back of the throat, like you're fogging up a mirror on the exhale, but your lips are closed. So let's come into child's pose. I'll just be here for a minute. You can close your eyes here. And you can listen to the gentle sounds of my dog chewing on her bone. So relaxing. We're allowing today. See if you can allow yourself to sink a little deeper into this posture. Maybe wiggle your hips back and forth a little to give your belly some room between your legs. And just see if you can, on your exhale, release any tension in your muscles that you might be holding on to in your face, or your jaw, or your shoulders. And on the inhale, see if you can breathe into any areas of tension in your body. And then exhale, release that tension into the earth. Take one more breath here. And then on an inhale, slowly walk your fingers in towards your body and lift up. So you can keep Ujjayi breathing throughout this flow, or just do your regular breathing. Just see if you can elongate your exhales. That activates your parasympathetic nervous system and really helps you to relax. even deeper. So we're gonna start with some wrist warm-ups. We'll be on our wrists a little bit here. So hands and knees, and just rock back and forth over your wrists, fingers pointing forward. Flip your hands so that your fingers are pointing back towards you. Be gentle here. If this feels weird, just do one hand at a time. And just very gently rocking back and forth a few times. And I found that my own personal wrist issues come from really storing a lot of tension in my forearms. So this one's really good for your forearms. Make fists, knuckles are together. Put the backs of your hands on the floor, and then bend your elbows, come down, and then try to straighten your forearms while keeping your hands and fists, backs of your palms on the floor. That really gets into the back of my forearms. Just do that a few times. And then if you want to get weird, if your body allows you to do this, you can pull your forearm back toward your legs and use your opposite knee to kind of massage the inside of your forearm. You can do that on both sides. Alright. And then just roll your wrists out in one direction, in the other direction. Give them a little shake. It's really good to warm up your wrists anytime you're going to be spending a lot of time on them. So we're going to come onto hands and knees here and do a few cat-cows. Knees are under hips, wrists are under shoulders, back is long. On an inhale, drop your belly, look up. On an exhale, round your back, drop your chin to your chest, your 10. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest, round your back. Really pull your belly up towards your spine too on the exhale. Inhale, look up one more time. Exhale, belly towards your spine, round your back. Inhale to a neutral back, so your back is long. And then we're going to come into puppy pose, so walk your fingers, walk your hands out in front of you. Keep your hips above your knees, and then bring your chest, your chin, your forehead toward the mat. And we'll stay here for 3 breaths. It's a really nice shoulder opener. So your hips are high still, but your forehead is coming toward the mat. Take one more breath here. And let it go. Inhale, walk your hands towards you, lift back up. And we're going to come down onto our bellies now for a Sphinx pose. So forearms are in front of you. The tops of your toes are on the floor. And fingers are spread wide. Pull your shoulders back toward one another. Gazes forward. Sphinx pose. Let's breathe here. I can really feel this in my collarbone when I breathe in. Everybody's bodies are different though, so you might feel this pose in a totally different place. If it's at all uncomfortable on your lower back, you can just come all the way down onto your belly. It's totally fine. One more breath here. And let it go. Lower your body all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands near your shoulders. And we're going to keep your pelvis and your thighs and your tops of your toes pressed into the mat. And try not to dump a lot of weight into your palms, but squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Inhale, lift your chest and head for a little baby cobra. Gazes forward. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, push up to hands and knees. And we're going to go into our first downward facing dog. So you can use blocks here if you need underneath your hands to give a little bit of height. You're going to push your hips up and back. Feet are hips width apart. Hands are shoulders width distance. Knees can be bent here. You want to get your hips really high, so if you need to bend your knees to get that height, go for it. And then you're going to energetically, like you're about to turn your hands and open jars toward the outside of your mat. You're going to spin your elbow creases toward one another, your armpits toward one another. Back is long, head is down, gaze is behind you. Breathe in here and let it go. You can walk your dog out here, bending one leg and then the other. Or you can just be still. Heels can be coming toward the mat, but if they don't touch, it's totally fine. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees and look forward. Inhale, walk your feet up to meet your hands toward the top of the mat. And your knees can be bent here. You're just going to exhale, let your head fall into a forward fold, looking behind you. My feet are about hips width distance. You can also have them be close to one another as well. Oh, the lovely sound of a saw. I hate that sound so much. But I'm allowing. Breathe here. You can grab opposite elbows here. Knees can really be bent here while warming up. Maybe sway side to side. Maybe you're just still. Come back to center if you were swaying. Fingertips come toward the mat. Inhale, use your core muscle to halfway lift. Gaze is forward or down. Exhale, fold back over your legs. Inhale, bend your knees and use your core to slowly roll up to stand. Make sure you guys can see me here. Alright. So we'll be in mountain pose here. So my feet are about hips width distance. Pull your belly in towards your spine and kind of tilt your pelvis forward a little bit so that it's centered over your feet. Roll your shoulders up, back, together and down. Palms can be facing forward. And then pretend like there is like an energetic line coming from the bottom of your spine all the way up through the top of your head in one straight line. Chin can be parallel to the floor, faces forward. And feel all four corners of your feet pressing into the mat. Kind of a weird concept, like corners of your feet, because your feet aren't exactly rectangles or squares, but if you think about it that way, you can really keep your weight balanced. On inhale, lift your hands to the sky, look up, maybe your palms touch, and grab your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale, fold gently to the right. Inhale back to center. Grab your right wrist with left hand. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Maybe a little back bend here. Your heart will come forward. And then exhale, fold forward. Swan dive down. Let your head hang here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms and then step back into a high plank position. So from here, we're going to lower knees. And then keeping your elbows hugged in close to your side. Halfway bend your elbows. Lower your chest and then chin. And then come all the way down. Inhale to a baby cobra, or maybe a bigger cobra. Exhale, push up into downward facing dog. I'm going to take 3 breaths here. So inhale, and let it go, maybe through the mouth this time. Inhale, lift your left foot to the sky. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, right foot to the sky. Exhale, bring it back down. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk up to meet your hands. Halfway lift, back is long. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees. Rise up, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands to your sides, Samasthiti. All right, we're going to do 2 more rounds of that sun salutation A. So inhale, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, maybe step back with your opposite foot that you stepped back with last time. Lower your knees, chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. So inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow. Exhale, step back. Inhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Exhale, step back. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk up to meet your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees slightly. Engage your core, roll up to stand, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands to sides. Samasthiti. That was round 2. And let's do 1 more. So inhale, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to high plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. For chaturanga, you're going to stay in a high plank. Keep your elbows tucked in close to your body. Shift your weight forward and keep your body in one straight line. Bend your elbows halfway. And then to come from chaturanga to upward facing dog, you're going to keep your body in one line, flip over on your toes, and then with your hips, pelvis, and thighs lifted off the mat, and your arms straight with a micro bend in the elbows, pull your chest forward and through and look up. Then exhale, lift your hips and bend, flip over on your toes so that you're in a downward facing dog. Then we'll take 3 breaths here. One more breath. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, make your way to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands to your sides. And that took a lot out of me, just those 3 sun salutation A's. So yeah, if you haven't been feeling good like I have been recovering from a sickness, then just take it easy on yourself. Chaturanga was a lot for me. So we're just going to sway back and forth here. Feet are staying on the floor, but hands are moving, hips are moving, knocking on heaven's door. Not going to go super fast today, just back and forth a few times. And then slowly come back to stillness, the top of your mat. All right, so interlace your hands behind your head. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift your chin to the sky. Push your pelvis forward a little too. Exhale, chin to chest. Bring your elbows toward touching each other, rounding your upper back. It's like a standing cat-cow. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, look up. Exhale, round your upper back. Elbows come toward one another. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, back to neutral. Let it go. Shake your hands out. Shake it out, shake it out. All right. So I'm gonna get a little sippy of water. If you need a little sippy of water, go ahead and do that yourself. I'm such a hipster. I only drink out of mason jars. All right, so we'll start at the top of the mat. Feet can be together or hips width distance, whatever's more comfortable for you. Mountain pose, palms forward, belly tucked in, chin parallel to the floor. So we're gonna come into chair pose. So you're gonna put your weight into the heels of your feet. You can lift your toes here to get that sensation. And then let your hips, bend your knees and let your hips sink like you're sitting into a chair. You don't have to come super low here. Maybe you're just like this. Maybe you're like that. I like to start in a pretty easy chair. And then arms lift. You can pretend like you're holding a beach ball here. Some people like to have their palms together. You're doing Ashtanga tradition. Gaze is up, belly's tucked in. We'll inhale here. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into high plank. You're either going to come to knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, push up of your choice. Inhale to cobra or to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Sun salutation B. So on an inhale, step your right foot forward to meet near where your right hand is. Your left toes will turn so they're facing the left side of the mat. Left heel is toward the center of the mat. And your feet are on two parallel lines like railroad tracks. Use your core, keep your right knee bent, and lift up. Arms to the sky, look up. Warrior one on the right. Exhale, fold over your front leg, hands up to the mat, step back, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then immediately we're going to go into warrior one on the left side. So inhale, left foot forward, warrior one, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, push up of choice. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Listen to that beautiful saw just whirring away. Just allow it. One more breath here. And let it go. And if at any point in time you want to take a child's pose instead of a downward facing dog, go for it. So inhale, and then on an exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, make your way to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, look at your hands. Oops, into chair pose, I mean. Forget what I'm doing. And then exhale, Samastahiti. So that was one round of Sun Salutation B. It can get a little intense, and that's okay. If it's too intense, skip it. You can just take child's pose for the next 2, or continue on with me and take whatever variation you're comfortable with. So inhale, sink into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank, push up of choice. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, warrior one on the right. Exhale, push-up of choice. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, push up. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Breathe in through your nose and let it all out through your mouth. You can walk your dog here or stay still, or take a child's pose. 1 more breath here. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, maybe hop forward this time. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, look at your hands. Oh, it's gonna be a chair pose, but it's just not. Exhale, samasthiti. All right, definitely feeling these. So this will be the last round of sun salutation B. And I'm gonna bring my feet together this time. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. Come into your push-up of choice. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here we go. Inhale, warrior one on the right. Exhale, push up. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, warrior one on the left. Exhale, last one, push-up of choice. Inhale, upward dog or back or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo, 3 breaths here. Keep your back long here. And try to keep your weight equally in your hands and your feet in downward dog. 1 last breath here. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hop or walk forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, look up. Exhale, samasthiti. Hands at your sides. So you can hear I'm still sniffling a little bit. So I'm going to take another drink of water. It's so important to stay hydrated if you've had any kind of illness, and just in general, but especially if you've been sick. I know there's some yoga people who say, don't drink water during your practice. I'm kind of just like to do what feels good. So that was 3 rounds of sun salutation A, 3 rounds of sun salutation B with the lovely background sound of my neighbor's sawing. Still working on allowing that to just exist. Let's roll our wrists out a little bit. So do some wrist circles in one direction, wrist circles in the other direction. Those were all of our push-ups that we're going to do for the day. I mean, if you want to throw some more in there, go for it, but that was enough for me. So let's do some sun salutation C. And I'm going to start at the top of the mat. My feet are going to be together here. You can have them hip widths apart. And inhale, sink into chair. And be here for 3 breaths. See if on the exhale you can sink a little lower. Keep the weight in your heels. Last breath here. And then exhale, bring your hands behind you and clasp your hands behind you. You can use a strap here if you can't do that. I don't have very flexible shoulders, so I can't clasp very well. And then bring your chest towards your thighs and lift your knuckles overhead. Be here for 3, Exhale, let go of whatever clasp you have, and then heel toe your feet toward the edges of your mat, toes pointed outward. Let me scoot back so you can see what I'm doing. And then sink down into a squat. If this is too much, you can use a block here and just sit on it. Hands are clasped together at heart center. You can use your elbows to push out on the inside of your knees. Keep your back as long as you can. And maybe you stay here, just breathing. Or if you want to play around with crow pose, bring your hands to the mat, lift your hips up high, get on those tippy toes, and bring your knees towards your upper arms. Your gaze is toward the mat, fingers are wide, and maybe you just lean forward here and feel the pressure. Maybe you lift one foot, maybe you lift the other, maybe you lift both feet, maybe just for a second. Whenever you're done with that, make your way back to downward facing dog. And we'll all meet here. Take a breath here. On the inhale, step your right foot forward, warrior one. Look up. You're going to move to warrior two on the exhale, so heel toe your right foot toward the center of the mat. Step your left foot so that the center of the arch of the left foot is in line with the right heel. Keep the bend in your right knee. You might widen your stance a little here. You might shorten it, whatever's comfortable for you. Arms come to a T. Look out past your front fingertips. 2 breaths here. Flip your front palm on an inhale. Let your back palm fall to the back of your left leg. And then look up. Right palm above your face. 2 breaths here, reverse warrior. Inhale back up. Exhale, bring your right forearm towards your right thigh. And then bring your left hand overhead, palm face down. Pinky facing toward the ground. Look up. If it's okay on your neck. Extended side angle. 2 breaths here. Inhale, back to warrior two. Oh, we have some percussion from the doctors now to go along with the sawing. Back to warrior two. And we'll come into triangle next. So inhale, straighten your front leg. You might need to shorten your stance here by stepping your back leg in a little bit. And you might use a block here too. So your front leg is straight. Bring the block to the inside of the right foot. Lean forward and then bring your right hand either to the block, to your shin, to your foot, to the mat. And the left hand can come to your hip or it can come up to the sky. Gaze can go up or wherever's comfortable on your neck. We'll be here for 2 breaths. Inhale, bring your left hand to the front, to near your front foot. And then make your stance even shorter. Maybe your left toes are pointing forward a little bit here. Fingertips to the mat, look forward, pyramid pose. 2 breaths here. Back is long. You can use the block here again for reverse triangle. Left hand can come to the block or to your shin or to the mat. Right hand can come to the right hip or the sacrum, or it can come all the way to the sky. Maybe you look up. 2 breaths here. Revolve the triangle. On an exhale, bring your right hand down. Move your block out of the way. Step back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to go into pincha if that's part of your practice, or you can just practice. I'm not quite there yet. So you can bring your knees down, so your hands and knees. Forearms to the mat, fingers are spread wide, and then lift your hips up. So it's like it's a dolphin pose. So it's downward facing dog but on your forearms. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you walk your toes in a little closer. Maybe you lift one leg and then the other. Or if you're one of those pincha people, maybe you're just doing all kinds of crazy forearm stands. Stay here as long as you like, and then when you're ready, come into child's pose. We'll all meet in child's pose for 3 breaths. Wide-legged child's pose for me feels really good on the hips. Child's pose is my favorite pose. So inhale, bring yourself up onto your knees, and we're going to come back into downward facing dog. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So on the inhale, step your left foot forward, warrior 1. Exhale, put those feet back into one line like you're on a tightrope. Arms to a T, warrior 2. Be here for 2 breaths. Inhale, keep your front knee bent and lean back for a reverse warrior. 2 breaths here. Inhale back to warrior 2, and then exhale to extended side angle. 2 breaths here. Inhale, warrior 2. Straighten that front leg, use a block here if you need, and shorten your stance if you need for triangle. So you want triangle to be like you're leaning your back against a wall, or like you're between 2 panes of glass. Inhale, exhale, bring your hand down to the mat. Maybe step your back foot forward a little bit so you're in pyramid pose. One more breath here. And then we'll go into revolved triangle. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step back in the downward facing dog. Make your way onto your forearms for dolphin pose. Maybe you do pincha, maybe you just play around. And when you're done playing around, we'll come back to child's pose for 3 more breaths. Inhale, make your way back up. Listen to that lovely soft music to the ears. And let's make our way back to downward facing dog. And then walk your hands about halfway towards your feet, so you're in a shorter stance. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, push your way back in the mat. Here, I'll move forward a little bit so you can see me. Use your peace fingers to grab your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift, back as long. Exhale, forward fold. Knees can be bent here. My feet are about hip width distance apart. Let your elbows fall out to the sides. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift your left foot, slide your left hand palm face up underneath it so that your big toes are touching your wrists. Same thing on the right. Exhale, forward fold for 3 breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Release your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees. Use your core to rise all the way up. Hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands to your side. So make our way up to the front of the mat. And we're going to do some standing postures. So I'll turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. Just kidding, I'm turn this way. So lean your weight into your left foot and lift your right knee. You might just stay here for 3 breaths, or use your peace fingers to grab on your right hand to grab your right toe and extend it out in front of you for 3 breaths. And then if your knee is up, turn to the side, the right side, or keep holding on to your toes and extend your leg to the right. One more breath here. Release. And then bring your knee back so it's facing forward, and then extend your right leg out in front of you. On an inhale, lift your knee high and bring the sole of your foot to either, well, let's start at the bottom. So to either right above your ankle, so you stay there if that's good, or come up to your inner thigh. Just avoid putting your foot on your knee joint. And then hands can come to heart center for tree pose, another favorite. Try cactus arms, so arms come out to the sides, elbows are bent, palms facing forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind your back. Maybe sway a little bit like a tree. It's okay if you fall. You really want to test your balance, so you can try shutting your eyes. It gets really crazy really fast. And then when you're ready to release that, shake your legs out. Do the same thing on the right hand side. So stand up tall, mountain pose. Really feel your feet rooting into the ground. Feel your spine extending long. And then lean to the right so your weight is in your right foot. Lift your left knee. Stay here, or grab your left toe with your peace fingers and extend your leg long. And then if your knee is lifted, bring it to the left. If you're holding onto your toes, see if you can bring your foot to the left. Whoa, maybe you fall. It's okay. And then bring your knee back to center, extend your left foot out in front of you. Bring the sole of your foot either to your calf, right above your ankle, or to your upper thigh. Ooh, hands to heart center. See if you can energetically push your knee toward the back of the room. Come into cactus arms. Maybe sway a little like an actual tree. Maybe shut your eyes. And then let it go. Alright, that is enough standing postures. Let's make our way down to the mat and just stay down there. So, stay at the top of your mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank and down to your knees, hands and knees. And then just swing your legs out in front of you. Legs are extended long. Sit up straight. Push your palms toward the mat. Flex your toes. Dandasana, stack pose. Inhale, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, reach forward, keeping your back long, shins coming towards your shins. You grab wherever you can reach. So maybe it's here near your shins, maybe it's just right here. Maybe it's your toes, but you're not pulling, you're just offering your hands to your toes. And then inhale, come back up. Forward folds are really relaxing. And bring the soles of your feet together. Grab your little toes here. Your heels can be close to you or they can be a little further out, whatever's more comfortable. Inhale with a long back. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe you walk your fingers out in front of you. Keep your back long here. Inhale, come up. And let's bend our knees. Extend your hands out in front of you, thumbs up. And maybe you stay here, pull your belly, your lower belly in towards your spine. Maybe you lift your feet a little bit off the mat. Stay here. Maybe you lift so that your shins are parallel to the floor and stay here. Maybe lift your legs all the way up. Ooh. Stay here. And then we're just gonna slowly roll down onto the mat. I brought my knees with me. It feels nice to do that sometimes. So if your knees are to your chest, then just do a few circles on your lower back. One direction, and then the other direction. And then happy baby. So you can do just one leg at a time by bending your knee and grabbing the outside of your foot. Or you can do both. If you're doing both, you can be still, or you can rock side to side. This feels really good on my lower back and on my shoulders. It's like a little shoulder massage. And then when you're done, we're just gonna pull our right knee into our chest, extend the left leg long, and then pull your right knee across your body, extend your right arm out to the side, and either gaze either up or you can look out towards your right fingers. Supine twist. Inhale back to center. Squeeze your right knee in. Let it go. Dog bed down by my feet. Scoot up a little bit. Bring your left knee in toward your chest. Squeeze it in. And then pull your left knee across your body. Left arm extended long, gazes up or towards your left fingertips. Inhale back to center, squeeze your left knee in. And then extend your legs out long for Shavasana. So feet are flopping out to the sides, palms are face up, and arms are to your sides. Roll your shoulders back and down your back. If this is weird on your lower back, you can bend your knees, keep your feet about mat width distance, and then let your knees fall in toward one another. And that could be a little easier on your back. Shut your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it all go through your mouth. One more deep breath in through your nose. And let it go through your mouth. If you're doing Ujjayi breathing throughout the practice, you can let go of that now and just let your breathing come back to natural. And we're just going to relax here. So Let your jaw relax. Your tongue is on the roof of your mouth. Let your tongue relax. Muscles around your eyes, your cheeks relax. Your neck. Let your shoulders sink into the mat. Collarbone relaxes. Your biceps, your forearms, your wrists relax. Let each of your fingers relax. Let your chest and your upper back relax. Let your belly relax. Sometimes we hold a lot of tension in our belly and we don't even notice it. Let your lower back relax. It holds us up all day. Let your sacrum and your pelvis relax. Let your butt relax. Thighs. Your knees, your shins, and your calves. Let your ankles and your feet and your toes. Let the bottoms of your feet relax. And just be here. When you're ready to come out of Shavasana, flow your wrists, your ankles, so you get some cracks and pops. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And slowly blink open your eyes. Stretch your arms and legs out for a nice full body stretch. Bend your knees. Roll to one side and use one arm as a pillow. Let the palm of your other hand be on the mat or on the earth. Breathe in here and exhale. One more time. Inhale and let it go. And when you're ready, you can push yourself up to a seat. You can sit with your legs crossed or sit on a block. Sitting can be hard, so or sit on your knees, however you like. Wherever you are, sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to your palms to heart center. Breathe in and out. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope that you are able to allow good things into your life today and allow the things that bother you, allow yourself to just let those go. So thank you so much. Have a good day. My hair.